Assalamu alaikum, viewers. Let's see, in the beginning of the episode, Mahmud is hiding with the soldiers of Behinder and is completely taking the money of the camp. Shamil says while looking at him, he doesn't look like a Mongolian at all. Jaban. Behinder says Shamil, now different people from the Alkhani state have joined the Mongol army. Did you hear about Alchem Khatun? Now Hassan Saba's followers are also included in them. Rayhan ties the hands of Alchem Khatun behind. So Alchem Khatun asks him, Mr. Rayhan, do you think this plan will succeed? So Rayhan says, if we don't succeed, what will happen? The most likely thing is that we will lose our lives. If you are scared, then you should back off. So the LCM lady says, we are not in the situation, Mr. Orhan. Hearing the blood of the remaining Golu, Orhan says, then fulfill your duty well. Come on. With this they all move forward. There we see that the soldiers are running in the Atranos fort. And the governor asks, have you not done it and sent bad news? Which the commander says, it is impossible to leave Golu, sir. The entire fort has been taken into custody. That's why the high-ranking officer says, the governor is asking Ulyuya, why can he come here alone? Ulyuya says, there must be something with him. Then Buran says, Governor Leon is with us. Either you open the door or we will break these walls on your head. At this moment Ulyuya comes with Governor Leon. Leon is injured and his hands are tied. I have brought the governor. Open the door. Then she starts to see the whole scene with the inside. After some time the governor and Yoya come to the scene, and Yoya says to him, Leon is with him, let him come. Hearing this, the governor tells the soldiers, open the door. As the door opens, Mr. Osman enters with Leon, and he says, throwing him on the ground, have you never heard what the punishment of those who do wrong against us is? They are in front of you. He says, Mr. Osman throws his rope and says more. Now he will tell you how he sold you and how he betrayed you, but you will not be happy to hear this. The governor and Uluya get worried. Then we see that Orhan is entering the Mongolian province with the horse of Alkim Khatun. Seeing them, Mongolians take their swords and go to them. Orhan says, we are not enemies. We have brought that prisoner who ran away from you. Are you not looking for him? The young soldier says, yes, we are looking for him. But who are you? There the Alkim women are saddened by seeing the two bodies hanging there. Baba, seeing them like this, he gets down from the horse in a sudden and says slowly, don't forget the plan we have made. Stay strong. Then he says to the Mongolian soldiers, we are the soldiers of Tajuddin Noyan who have been collected from the isolated areas. If you raise swords against us, none of you will live. Now Tajuddin Noyan has promised to give gold in return for this prisoner. Give us the gold, the soldier says. We will give you the gold, but first hand over the woman, which Aban and Khan say, wait a minute, only one thing we will give you is the head of our fierce swords. He says, along with that, he cuts the rope of Alkim Khatun, and they all fall on the Mongols. Suddenly the Mongols are not able to handle the attack at all, and the one lying on the ground is Gurnal Leon. Now tell them everything, so Leon says, the one who knows that he is going to die. Why will he tell everything? So the one who is now Usman Sahib says, if you have to tell something to live, then you will definitely tell everything. So the one who is now Usman Sahib says, do you know what this is? Your life is in this bottle. So Leon says, Tariaq? He tries to snatch Tariaq from him. But Usman steps back and says, now tell them everything. So Leon says, Amir Gork Lohan sent me a Qasid, who invited me to serve him. I helped him against Usman. He says, Tariaq? Usman steps back again. This time also Usman steps back and says, now tell your friends about treason. Jaban Leon says, I can't tell you more than this. Hearing this, Usman Sahab drops the bottle and holds it with his hand. Before holding it, Leon says, okay, I'll tell you. Amir Gorkul Ohan was about to come to take over all the Gorna's castle. Hearing this, Gorna says, despite this, you stay with him. Jaban Leon says, Gorkul Ohan would have given me for everyone after that. That's why I helped him. He says he also supports the campaign and says, there is not much time left. I will die in Usman Sahab. Give me the campaign. Leon is very desperate. Usman Sahib says to him, "You want the river? Yes, you want this?" Usman Sahib says he breaks the bottle, so Leon says to him, "What have you done?" "This was the reason for me to live," which Usman Sahib says, "Governor, what you drank a while ago was just water. There was no poison or anything else inside, and the thing running in your blood is the ear of death." Listening to this, Leon gets even more worried. There we see that Alkum Khatun comes to the body while crying, and while holding a corpse and crying, she says, "My father," by giving her the body. Orhan also comes to her, and Alkum Khatun says, "We are late, we are very late." Along with this, Orhan moves forward and removes the cloth from the body and closes the eyes of that person. But when Alkum Khatun sees, she says, "This is not my father." Hearing this, Orhan also thanks God. As soon as he saw this, Karaj Lasun also went there with his soldiers and says to Orhan, "Today no one can save you from my hands." Which Orhan says to him, "Now I will finish you. This time you will not be able to escape from my hands. But first tell me, where is Guntur Sahib of Akbar?" Karaj Lasun says to his soldiers, "Kill all the servants. Don't leave anyone alive." Along with this, they are on the other side of each other. "For the sake of the Ranaus," Osman says, "I will leave this dog with you." The next moment, Leon takes out the sword of the governor and attacks Osman, but Osman throws it on the ground and says, "I will not kill that dog." The governor asks Leon, "You have sold your brothers to the Mongols so many times in such a long time." So Leon says, "He humiliated the great ruler of the Roman Empire in front of you, and you people didn't even care." Hearing this, the governor says, "You should have thought this before betraying Rome." Jaban Leon says, "Am I the only one who betrayed?" Before he says anything else, Olia cuts his throat. The Hulufira is also standing aside and watching this whole scene. After killing Leon, Olia says, "You can't betray Rome for long." "What do you want from us, Mr. Usman?" Jaban Usman says, "The tax you promised to pay." Jaban Goner says immediately, "Mr. Usman, we can't pay it in a week." So Mr. Usman says, "Today? You will pay today. It's a long way to go. Otherwise I will take double from him." He also, forcibly, he says that along with him Mr. Osman goes. After he leaves, Uluya tells the governor that we have no other way, governors. I will write a letter to Shinsha. I will tell him to send the Roman Jinnah with his soldiers. Hearing this, Ulufira gets very worried, and the governor says, if the Roman Jinnah comes, then not only Osman, but also it will be very painful for everyone living in these lands. We can't stop the Roman Jinnah, Uluya, which Aban Uluya says. I know that even the emperor can't stop him. I didn't say what he did in the past, but we don't have any other way. Only the Jalat of Rome can defeat that man. Along with this, they all leave the room, and Holofera says, if he comes here, then everything will be ruined. Orhan, after saying this, she also moves forward quickly. There we see that great clashes are taking place in the Mongolian territories. Karajalasan and Orhan are attacking each other, but they both escape from each other with a lot of force. Finally, Orhan slaps her on the ground and throws her away, and all Mongolian soldiers are killed. Orhan sits on Karaje Lasun and beats her, then says, "You will pay for what you did to my family and my people." Then he says, "I told you that you will not escape from my hands today. Now either you will talk to Karaji Lasun here, or I will behead you." Alkum hits her and says, "Speak, you coward, where is my father? Where is my sister-in-law?" "Speak." Orhan follows Alkum. Karaji Lasun says, "Do you think you will find him?" Tajuddin Noyan has prepared a plan for him. After calming down the Alkim woman, Orhan tells the soldiers, "We will get the news from this dog, but not here. We will take him to Yenishe. Mr. Binder will take this dog to Yenishe. He will wait in the dungeon." Along with this, the soldiers take Karaji Larson and they all leave from there. With this is the end of the next episode.